I never thought much about live streams. They were just background noise, gamers playing, people talking, someone cooking at 3 in the morning. But that night, when I came across the stream, something inside me froze. The channel had no name. Just a black square icon and a single viewer counter that read, "One watching now." Against my better judgment, I clicked. The video filled my screen, and for a moment I thought it was a prank. It wasn't flashy or edited. It was my bedroom. My actual bedroom. I could see the crooked blinds, the cheap lamp with the tilted shade, the pile of laundry I'd been meaning to deal with for days. The camera angle was perfect, like it had been placed in the corner near my ceiling. And then my heart dropped. I was in the bed, lying there, sleeping. The faint rise and fall of my chest matched the rhythm I knew too well. My hair, messy and uncombed, sprawled across the pillow. Even the slight twitch of my hand, it was all me. I ripped my headphones off and spun around. The room behind me was empty. No red light, no hidden camera, no lens glinting in the dark. Just silence. I checked the stream again. Still there. Still me. I typed into the chat, "Who are you?" The message didn't appear. Instead, new words scrawled across the black screen. "You shouldn't be awake." A chill ran down my spine. I slammed my laptop shut, my pulse racing, my skin slick with sweat. But later that night, after hours of tossing and turning, curiosity got the better of me. I opened it again. The stream was still running. Only now, I wasn't sleeping. I was staring at the camera. My blood turned cold as I watched the screen. The version of me on the live stream was awake, sitting up in bed, staring directly into the camera. But here I was, hunched over my desk, laptop open, breathing raggedly. I whispered to myself, "That's not me. That can't be me." But every tilt of the head, every blink, every nervous twitch mirrored my own movements a second later, like some grotesque reflection lagging behind reality. The chat box flickered. New words appeared, though I hadn't typed a thing. "Don't look away." I couldn't. The figure on the stream, the other me, smiled slowly. My face had never looked so wrong, so stretched, as if my skin wasn't built for smiling. I backed away from the desk, knocking over a half-empty glass of water. It spilled across my floor, but on the stream, the glass didn't fall. My reflection hadn't moved at all. It was still smiling. Panic clawed at my throat. I grabbed my phone and snapped a picture of my room, scanning every corner, the ceiling, the shadows. Nothing. No camera. No hidden lens. No reason this should be happening. Then I saw it. Behind the me in the live stream, the door to my bedroom was cracked open. Just barely, like someone had nudged it with their finger. But my real door, right here beside me, was shut tight. The words on the screen changed again. "It's closer now." The figure on the stream turned its head toward the crack in the door. My own body in the real world stiffened. A sound escaped my lips before I could stop it, a soft whimper. Slowly, with deliberate movement, the door in the stream creaked wider. Darkness spilled in, thicker than shadows should be, like tar bleeding into the room. My double kept staring at it. Waiting. I stood, clutching my phone like it was a weapon, my eyes darting between the real door, still closed, and the one on the screen. And then, something moved in the darkness of the live stream door. Something tall. Thin. A shape that didn't belong in my room, or in any room. The chat flickered again, each letter burning into the black box. "Don't turn around." And that's when I realized the single viewer counter had changed. It no longer said 1 watching now. It said 2. The number on the live stream, 2 watching now, burned into my brain. I wasn't the only one seeing this. Someone else was out there, watching me sleep, watching me now. My fingers shook as I typed into the chat again. "Who else is here?" This time, my message appeared. And seconds later, another response came, written in jagged letters as though someone had smashed their keyboard in a frenzy. "Run." I froze, staring at the word. My pulse throbbed in my ears. My reflection on the stream leaned closer to the camera, lips curling into that unnatural grin. Behind it, the tall figure in the doorway shifted, its limbs too long, its head brushing the frame as though it were too big to fit inside. "God, oh God," I whispered, my voice trembling. I grabbed the doorknob to my real door and yanked it open, desperate to prove to myself that nothing was there. Just the dark hallway stretched out, empty and silent. Relief washed over me for a moment, until I looked back at the screen. The figure was gone from the live stream. The chat flickered again, too late. Suddenly, a floorboard creaked behind me. I spun around, my breath catching in my throat. The hallway was still empty, but the sound had been real. I knew it. My chest heaved as I took a shaky step backward, my eyes glued to the shadows spilling into the hall. On the screen, the other me was moving now, standing up from the bed, slowly, deliberately. Its movements were jagged, like it wasn't used to walking, like it was learning in real time. It glanced at the camera once more before stepping out of view. And then, silence. Both in my room and on the stream. The counter still read 2 watching now. Whoever the other viewer was, they hadn't typed again. I grabbed my phone and tried to end the stream, but there were no controls, no stop, no settings, no channel info. Just the endless footage of my life, unfolding in real time. A whisper, faint but clear, cut through the silence. It came from my hallway. You shouldn't be awake. I dropped my phone, heart slamming against my ribs. On the screen, the camera tilted, like someone had picked it up, and the last thing it showed was the empty bed. And then the stream went black. But the counter still ticked up. 3 watching now. The number, 3 watching now, felt like a countdown I didn't understand. My skin prickled, every nerve on fire. The stream had gone black, but the counter kept climbing. I slammed the laptop shut, grabbed my phone, and bolted from the room. The hallway stretched endlessly, the air heavy and stale, like it hadn't been touched in years. Every shadow seemed alive, shifting at the edge of my vision. I ran into the living room, flicked on the light, and stood there trembling, phone in hand. I needed proof that this wasn't all in my head. I opened the YouTube app and searched for the channel. Nothing. No results. It didn't exist. But when I clicked my history, there it was. The nameless stream. Still live. With shaking fingers, I tapped it open. The screen showed my living room. Right where I stood. Only it wasn't empty. In the live stream, I was sitting on the couch. My hands folded neatly in my lap, eyes wide, staring at the camera. Behind me, in the reflection of the dark window, the tall figure loomed, its head bent, as though whispering into my ear. I looked at the real window. Just my reflection. No one behind me. I wanted to breathe, to believe it was just pixels, some glitch, but my body was frozen with dread. The chat box lit up again. You can't escape the feed. Then another message appeared, this one from the other viewer, the one who had warned me before. It's not showing you. It's showing what's next. My stomach dropped. The version of me on the couch leaned forward, face twisting into that terrible grin again. The window in the stream rattled as though something pressed against it from the outside. In the real world, I heard it too. A faint tap at the glass. I turned my head slowly, my heart hammering so loudly I thought it might burst. Something pale pressed against the window from outside. A hand. Long fingers, jointed wrong, scratching faintly against the glass. On the screen, the pale hand slid upward until a gaunt face emerged into view. Hollow eyes. A mouth too wide. In the live stream, my double turned and opened the window. And in my living room, the real window latch began to jiggle on its own. The viewer count ticked again. For watching now. The latch on the window clicked, slow and deliberate, as though an unseen hand was undoing it piece by piece. I stumbled backward, eyes glued to the glass, where pale fingers dragged along the pane, leaving streaks like frost behind them. On the stream, my double smiled wider, face splitting unnaturally, and pushed the window fully open. A gust of black air poured inside the digital version of my living room, swallowing the light. Here, in reality, the window creaked as it opened by itself, inch by inch. The cold seeped in, biting against my skin. I grabbed my phone with trembling hands and typed into the chat, "What do I do?" The warning viewer replied instantly, "Don't look at it. Don't let it see you." But it was already too late. Something slipped through the window, a shape that bent like smoke but walked like flesh. It dragged itself into the room, its limbs stretching too far, its head craning as though listening for me. My chest tightened, every instinct screaming to run, but my legs wouldn't obey. On the stream, my double stood up. Behind it, the figure wrapped long, skeletal hands over its shoulders, pulling it into the shadows. My double didn't resist. It welcomed it. The chat flickered again, this time with words I hadn't typed. Your turn. The thing in my living room tilted its head toward me. For the first time, I saw its face. My face. Hollow, stretched pill. A perfect copy, just empty. The viewer counter ticked again. 5 watching now. I screamed and hurled the phone at the wall. The screen cracked, but the sound of the stream didn't stop. It filled the air like a radio broadcast, whispering from everywhere at once. The voices overlapped. My voice, the other viewers, the things. All chanting the same phrase. You shouldn't be awake. I ran, bolting into the hallway, down the stairs, into the street. My breath fogged the night air, my heart slamming against my ribs. But when I looked up, every window of every house glowed faintly with the same stream. Faces staring out. My face. And on each screen, the counter was climbing. 10 watching now. 24 watching now. 73 watching now. I backed away, trembling, whispering, "Please, stop." Then I heard it, millions of whispers at once, echoing through the night. We are all watching. And as the streetlights flickered out, leaving me in darkness, I realized the truth. The live stream wasn't showing my life. It was broadcasting my end.